We have reached the final selection of the first round of the 2017 NFL Draft. Mark Rogers TV talking NFL Draft with Nick Dempsey from Conquest Chronicles, focusing, of course, on the Trojans, with the one selection being Mr. Adoree Jackson, who goes 18th to the Tennessee Titans. So, Nick, based on what you've been reading for the past several weeks about the various fits across the NFL landscape, how would this very talented and elite athlete fit in with the Titans?
He's going to fit in great. The system they run out there on defense with the Titans fits his skill set quite perfectly. He can, because of his smaller frame, he can sometimes get beat in traffic, can get knocked off the coverage. And a lot of times he'll have to use his elite speed to sort of get back to the ball and make a play on it, which he's very capable of doing. But the system they run out there in Tennessee, they love to give their defensive backs some cushion so they can see the whole field and then make plays on the ball. So one of his greatest strengths is exactly how they like to use their DBs in Tennessee. The other thing is, a lot of folks are saying because of some of his various weaknesses, he'd have to play a DB covering the slot receiver to mask some of his deficiencies, but he will probably not have to do that in Tennessee. I think he's exactly what the Titans needed out of a defensive back, and he should absolutely do very well there. The only concern is he's only about 186 pounds, which is a bit on the smaller side, but he doesn't play like it. He's never let being smaller and work to his disadvantage. Did not have a lot of injury problems because of his size or smaller stature. So I think is probably about the best fit you could have hoped if you're Adoree Jackson in terms of NFL. So I think overall, I think this is a great situation for him. I would expect him to excel.
Because of all the things you mentioned, Nick, it could be interesting to see where Adoree Jackson gets matched up against certain receivers, because on the outside, he sometimes would be the better matchup there because of the speed, but would be smaller against some of those really big physical wide receivers. But then with all the tight ends at this point in NFL play that split wide, and you find yourself in that slot mismatched against a huge framed guy that can box you out and size you up and make the catch. So that's going to be something that they're going to have to determine how to best use him, and that could be from game to game to game.
Yeah, and it could also be, from one side of the ball to the other, because he has shown the ability to play offense. He's certainly great at returning kicks. He has plenty of talent. So I think they're going to have to find where he fits best on defense first, and then if he can come in and make contributions in special teams, for sure, that'll at least always guarantee him a spot on the roster. So I think he's got a pretty good situation set up in Tennessee, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do down there.
All right, breaking down the NFL Draft on the USC side with Nick Dempsey from Conquest Chronicles, and as the weekend progresses, hopefully we can knock out some more analysis involving Zach Banner, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Chad Wheeler as well. Nick, we appreciate the time.
Of course, Mark, anytime.